By with Immortals AD Carry.
Thank you very much, Riv. Great cast today. I am here with the immortal Jason Wild Turtle Tran. Now, I got to start with some bad news. Your guys' win streak, it was gone yesterday. You had a really heart-wrenching, disappointing loss to Counterlogic Gaming. How do you come back from a game like that?
I don't think there's really any coming back from that. Like, you just cry in a corner forever, and you just cry a lot.
So is this what sad Immortals looks like now? Just you taking wins with 4 deaths the entire game?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. We're really sad right now. Rainover lost all his confidence. He's like, oh, yesterday's the worst day of my life, and yeah.
All right, so back on a serious note then, talk to me about riding the season out. You guys are maybe on pace for 17-1. You got 4 games to go. You're probably the #1 seed coming into playoffs. Where are you guys looking right now? Are you looking at playoffs? Are you looking at the last 4 opponents? Are you looking at watching TSM and CLG at Katowice? What's next for you guys?
Right now we're just focusing on get first seed, and then we're just gonna be focusing on playoffs right now. So that's probably the goal of our team right now.
You guys gonna win NA? You gonna go to MSI?
I hope so. That would be pretty awesome.
What's the chances? Like 99%, 99.5?
I can't put a number on it right now, but we'll just have to see what happens at playoffs.
All right, well, Total, any final things to say at the end of week 17-1, sorry, 13-1? As this season surpassed your expectations, do you expect Immortals were going to be this good coming into the year?
We're just going to Bible thump our way to victory from now on. Yeah.
All right, Bible thumping their way to victory. Thank you very much, Twitch chat. You know what to do with that one. Let's send it over to the analyst desk.
Please do not encourage them. No, a great win there for Immortals to bounce back after their loss yesterday. I love to see good League of Legends played. I also like to see fans rewarded. There's Banana Man in the crowd today, and he made about 100 of these things and handed them out to everybody in the audience, as well as sent one back here to the analyst desk. And
so, have to hand out some of these tissues also, apparently.
Sad Immortal. Exactly.
Undefeated.
Yeah, all right, so bananas and tissues.
Keep that.
Anyway, let's get into that game there a little bit. It seemed like a bit of a rocky start for Immortals. I mean, not that they didn't have any sense of control, but we did see some early kills go over to Echo Fox from some minor misplays by Rainover, overextending past that second-tier turret in the bot lane and outplayed by Keith.
I did want to start a little bit before that, even though, because Immortals had a really good opening, and this reinforces something I say every single year that we had the LCS. And counter jungling is a team effort, and Immortals just crushed hard so badly. They chase him out of the top quadrant of the jungle. Rainover's already clearing on his path to head right up there, so he moves right in. He has a huge CS lead over Hard, a huge experience lead. He was level 6 to Elise's level 4 at one point. So that opening was really strong for Immortals, and they played the team game of counter jungling very well. But then, as you said, those mistakes did start to leak through a little bit, giving up some kills here and there.
I mean, it's a thing with Immortals where they are afforded the ability to make a few mistakes in the early game, because even with those early deaths from Rainover, we saw them still hold on to a gold lead, as they're pushing through these early turret trades. So it's all forgivable, but it does make you wonder whether or not there are a little bit of pressure and nerves coming off of that loss yesterday. They seem to cool off about midway through that game and take total control over.
Yeah, still really good in mid-game team fights. The Pantheon that we got to see from Huni, Heartseeker strike like 14 times in the middle of the fight.
Jesus.
Refreshingly strong, I guess. No other region has picked it up, but it's huge in solo queue. Crazy good pick against the Twisted Fate as well. And I think we should probably touch on the double blind pick of Twisted Fate and Fiora.
Yeah.
And allowing Immortals to counterpick double solo lanes as a blue side team.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what Fox are going for. They're like, you know what? Renegades were just defeated by global pressure, so we need to grab our global pressure as quickly as possible. We need a strong split pusher Fiora. We need a Twisted Fate to get everywhere so we can try and play the same game as CLG did, pressure all lanes.
Yep.
But Immortals are ready this time. Like, they already faced that. They already had a tough loss to global pressure, and they had the answers this time. Like, Pantheon completely destroys TF. 2 levels down because of the change to the way that Aegis works, and you can block gold cards. There's almost no threat. Even if TF is 2 levels above you, you can see Huni going for tower.
That's not even a direct lane counterpick. That's just a game counterpick.
Exactly.
A little bit for Twisted Fate.
Like the split push.
Yeah, we saw the number of times even that the 1v1 in the bot lane where the Pantheon was able to block every single gold card for Froggen. So you just end up in a scenario. Exactly, and tower shots as well. So you end up kind of in a lose-lose situation if you're Fox, and a win-win for Immortals. So smart drafting by them in response to perhaps the ill-advised double solo lane lock-in when you're on red side. As we look towards the end of the season, though, we have to ask, with Echo Fox being one of the teams that is still in that conversation for a playoff run, they weren't expected to come away with this win. How will they deal with the loss, though, knowing that as their number of games dwindles, they need to be picking up those wins?
Yeah, when Froggen and KFO came back to the lineup, they said they need to win now, and they actually did win now. And coming into the week, we were thinking, well, this is the week where we'll know if they're actually a top tier team or just kind of where we expect them to be. Losing to TSM and Immortals puts them more to where we expect them to be, which makes their upcoming game against Dignitas at the start of week 8 in 2 weeks, and then their final game against Renegades all the more important, because if they take care of business in those 2 games, 7 wins. I don't think their mindset is going to be crushed because they lost to TSM and Immortals, but it may be a little disappointing, but it sets the reasonable expectations for how that team should succeed.
As it shouldn't be. Well, that's going to conclude